Namaste. This is David Hawthorne at astroview.com. Today's the 18th of August 2015. Following is the Vedic astrology reading for Mr. Donald Trump based on the 14th of June 1946, 10:54 a.m. in Jamaica, New York. Now we know that Mr. Trump is an American business magnate, an investor, television personality, author, and he's one of the 2016 U.S. presidential candidates. His father, Fred Trump, was a New York City real estate tycoon. Donald Trump went to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, where he received his Bachelor of Science degree in economics in 1968. He was given control of his father's company in 1971. He has 4 siblings. His oldest brother died in 1981 at the age of 43. So Donald Trump owns several million square feet of prime Manhattan real estate, and the Trump Organization owns, operates, and develops and invests in real estate around the world. Forbes estimate his net worth at $4 billion. Donald Trump estimates it closer to $9 billion. His first marriage from 1977 to 1992 gave him 2 sons and a daughter. The second marriage, 1993 to 1999, gave him 1 daughter. And his third marriage that took place 10 years ago, January 2005, gave him a son. So he has 5 children altogether. Now, over these years, 4 of his businesses have declared bankruptcy. The Trump's Taj Mahal in 1991, the Trump Plaza Hotel in 1992, the Trump Hotels and Casino Resorts 2004, and the Trump Entertainment Resorts 2009. So banks and bondholders have lost hundreds of millions of dollars. So now let's take a look at Donald Trump through the Vedic astrology reading, and I am going to be using what is known as systems approach to interpreting horoscopes. It's a very scientific paradigm developed by Professor V.K. Chaudhry in India for reading charts. It gives very accurate information. So we see that at the moment of birth, if we looked into the first house, if we looked east on the horizon, actually, in the first house, the 5th sign of the zodiac was ascending or rising at 6 degrees 51 minutes of Leo. So Donald Trump has the Leo rising sign. We don't read the chart from the sun sign or the moon sign because the rising sign changes every 2 hours of the day. It's much more specific to the individual. And this represents a person's name, fame, health, appearance, reputation, and longevity. Now, Leo is the only rising sign from Aries all the way around through Pisces. This is the only rising sign ruled by the royal sun. And the sun is the king of the planetary cabinet. So Leo-born persons can be very independent, very intelligent, great leaders. They are kings. Kings sometimes ask for advice, but in the end they take their own advice. And Donald is not just a plain Leo. In fact, he has Mars sitting in the first house. Mars is the planet of courage. Now, Mars rules his 9th house of Aries, which is the house of father and luck and fortune. And Mars is in the first house. Brings close connection with father and good fortune from his father. And Mars is the planet of real estate, property, and executive organizing capability. Leo is ruled by the sun. And we see that Sun has gone into the 10th house, into the 2nd sign of Taurus. The 10th house is the house of karma, career, and professional life. This is the field of action. So Leo, ruled by the Sun, finds a strong connection with professional life. Sun in the 10th house of profession gives leadership, connection with large organizations, government organizations. And Sun is not sitting alone. Sun is sitting with the northern node of the moon, Rahu, R-A-H-U, which is the planet of desire, ambition, charisma, gives magnetic personality, makes one persuasive, highly ambitious, charismatic. More on this in a few minutes. But we see a very strong connection with leadership, professional life, career, desires, ambition. In the second house, we have the sixth sign Virgo, ruled by Mercury. And this is Jupiter retrograde at 24 degrees. So Jupiter in the second house gives higher education, gives some status through higher education. And Jupiter rules this fifth house, which is the ninth sign Sagittarius. It's the house of higher education and children. So this gives 5 children, gives them higher education. And it says that he can speak as a guru. He can speak as a professor, teacher, consultant, advisor, lawyer, religious leader. And Jupiter is in Virgo, so it's codependent on the landlord, which is Mercury, at 15 degrees 45 minutes in the 11th house in the third sign of Gemini. So this is considered an extremely well-placed Jupiter, the planet of luck, in the house of wealth, status, and family life, ruling higher education, children, and investments, ruled by Mercury in the house of income, gains, and friendships, fulfillment of desires. So this indicates income through Mercury significations: business, brokering, buying, selling, trading, being a messenger, intellect. This also gives friends in business. These two are really extremely well placed in this chart. Mercury rules the house of family money, and it's in the house of gain. So it's where a person gains money through their own family money. And that was a real clear case, gaining from his father. In the third house, we have the seventh sign Libra, ruled by Venus. And Venus is in the 12th house, in the fourth sign of Cancer. Now, this is a weak position for Venus. Venus also rules wife in a man's chart. And it rules the third house of his entrepreneurial self-efforts and self-initiatives. And the 12th house is the house of losses and expenses. So, multiple marriages, multiple divorces, multiple bankruptcies. Ruler of the third and the 12th. If he was just starting out in life and came to me for advice, I'd advise that he wears a 1-carat diamond gemstone to strengthen Venus. Weakness of Venus is also going to cause trouble for his kidneys, his pancreas, and reproductive organs. It can give diabetes and cancer and obesity. In the fourth house, we have the 8th sign Scorpio. This is Chandra, the moon, at 28 degrees Scorpio. And this is Ketu, K-E-T-U, the southern node of the moon, at 27 degrees. Now, moon rules his 12th house of losses, and this is sitting in the 4th house of property. But moon is our emotional state and how we emotionally connect with other people, and how we comprehend and how we understand. And moon is in its debilitation sign, and it's only 1 degree, even less than a half a degree, from Ketu, K-E-T-U, the southern node of the moon. On a positive note, this gives some psychic ability, some intuition, and some spiritual inclination, emotional detachment. But this moon is also under the influence of Rahu. Rahu aspects the house opposite it. So this Rahu at 27 degrees is afflicting moon at 28 degrees. So both Rahu and Ketu are causing an eclipse of the moon. In fact, if you look into the history, you'll see that on June 14th, 1946, there was a total eclipse of the moon. So Donald was born during a total eclipse of the moon. It's actually called a total lunar eclipse. So this causes highs and lows emotionally. Desire, non-desire. I want, I don't want. This can cause ADHD and bipolar disorders. Now, because Moon rules the 12th house, he cannot strengthen the Moon. So Donald should never wear a pearl or even white clothing or have a white automobile. White is not good for this chart. The remedy for the Moon is for Donald to help elderly women on Mondays. The remedy for K2 is to donate to animal shelters for stray dogs and to donate to organizations, spiritual organizations. So he can help holy man, holy woman, or spiritual organization. This is very serious affliction. And Moon rules the chest, lungs, fluids in the body, thyroid, and also the heart, along with the sun. Sun and Moon both rule the heart. And Sun is also very close to Rahu and under the influence of Ketu. And Moon for Leo rising sign becomes the most malefic planet. It rules the 12th house, end of life, losses, expenses, confinement, depression, isolation. And Moon is afflicting Sun. So Sun is under the affliction of Rahu, Ketu, and Moon. So I suspect that Donald Trump has serious heart ailment. He's got clogged arteries. There are thousands of miles of arteries in the human body. So I'm very concerned for his cardiovascular system. I'm concerned about him having a heart attack. I don't think a stroke is going to happen because he has a pretty well-placed Mars. But a heart attack is pretty much a strong possibility. Now, if he was 20 years old starting out in life, or he came to me for advice, I would say for him to wear a ruby gemstone, about 2 to 5 carats in size, and that can be worn on the ring finger of the left hand. Back of the stone should touch the skin. Ruby gemstone was quite good for the sun. We want to strengthen the sun in this chart. So in his 5th house, he has the 9th sign Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is extremely well placed up in the 2nd house. This is quite good for education, children, and luck and success. In the 6th house, he has the 10th sign Capricorn. And in the 7th house, he has the 11th sign Aquarius ruled by Saturn. So Saturn rules the house of marriage, relationships, partnerships, and joint ventures, and is placed in the 12th house of losses, expenses, and separations. So this causes losses and expenses and separations connected with marriage, relationships, partnerships, joint ventures, and foreign lands. And Saturn is at 0 degrees. That's called infant state and is totally weak. So this can cause trouble with the teeth, neck, back, spine, knees, joints, and ankles. It can cause worry, fear, phobias, impatience, and distrust of others. And Saturn is Ayush Karaka, significator for longevity. And it's badly placed, and at 0 degrees it has no power. and both Venus and Saturn are ruled by a debilitated moon. So this also is not good for longevity of life. In the 8th house, we have the 12th sign Pisces. 9th house, we have the first sign Aries, ruled by Mars. So this is the 9th house of good fortune, father, guru, divine grace, religion, and it's in the first house of self. He's a Presbyterian. He said he loves his religion. It brought some good fortune through his father, connected with property, real estate, and executive organizing skills. I think the well-placed Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury are carrying the chart. Even Sun is well-placed, but it is afflicted by Rahu, Ketu, and Moon. That can cause a total eclipse, sudden eclipse, some unexpected calamity. I would actually say that he should not take risks and chances of any sort, because there could be some total eclipse of Donald Trump at some point. The 10th house, we have the second sign Taurus ruled. This is Taurus ruled by Venus. And then this is the 11th house, the third sign Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury sitting here. This is a very good position of Mercury. And in the 12th house, we have the fourth sign Cancer, ruled by the debilitated, afflicted moon. So it undermines the strength of Saturn and Venus. Saturn ruling marriage, relationships, partnerships, joint ventures. Venus ruling his own self-effort. So they're always leading back to losses, separations, expenses. So these are the main points on Donald's chart. Let's take a look at the timing of events.